let me know what you think on the live stream on both Facebook and YouTube. Also, you can send me messages on WhatsApp 0809 597 5805. That's WhatsApp number 0809 597 5805 on WhatsApp. And you know the numbers. So let's start with The Guardian this time. The Guardian has this big story on the cover page. National Stadium of Shame, filth, 31 months after $1 million facelift. National Stadium of Shame, filth, 31 months after $1 million facelift. You can read the story on pages 4 and 5 of the Guardian newspaper. It's an interesting read. You see the picture of the National Stadium, how it looks like now, even after the facelift. So you understand why the headline couched like that. The Guardian newspaper, pages 4 and 5. Let's go to page 20 of the Guardian. Questions over 12 billion naira airport fire trucks. Questions over 12 billion naira airport fire trucks. That story is on page 20 of the Guardian newspaper for you today. I'm going to drop the Guardian now. Let's take Daily Trust. After Daily Trust, I would start taking your reactions from the telephone lines as well as on WhatsApp and Facebook. Daily Trust has a couple headlines I would like to look into. Okay, so here we go. Experts flay FG's $800 million palliatives. The writers say amount just 6% of 6 trillion naira annual subsidy. It will be 2,000 naira one-off support per citizen. No lesson learned from 16 billion naira wasted on Sure P in 2012. Page 4 is where you'd read that story if you're interested. Buhari sacks Saratu Umar as NIPC boss. Daily Trust newspaper for you. Let's take another one here that says reps mandate 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria. Reps mandate 5-year practice for doctors before leaving Nigeria. The story is on page 9 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Let's drop the Daily Trust and come take your thoughts on these stories. 012770993, 012771993, 012772993, and 012773993. If you called earlier in the morning, please do not call again. If you called earlier, do not call again. Let's give opportunity to those that tried calling in but couldn't get through. Thank you for understanding. For female callers, please call 01465 7190 for female callers. That's 01465 7190. And you've got 60 seconds to share your thoughts. Good morning to you. Good morning. I can't hear you. I'm sorry. I thought you were about to say something earlier, but I can't hear anything anymore. Please pardon me. Please do call me back. Good morning to you. That call has dropped. Again, let's try another one. Let's give one last opportunity before we go to Facebook or WhatsApp. Good morning to you. All right, so we allow the telephone lines to rest. They are here. I can see them, but let's allow it to rest. Perhaps they would reset. In the meantime, let's go to WhatsApp and go and take some WhatsApp messages this morning. I'm going to take this one here from, what's your name now? Chinedu from Agric in Ikorodu says, and he wrote a long story here. I have no idea where he's going with all of that. Okay, this person says I should educate. Chris said I should educate him on the disadvantages of interim government. Let me take Olakunle's message quickly. Olakunle, this is quite long. I'm not sure I can even start it because I'm having a feeling that it's a copy and paste from somewhere. But let's see if we can take the first 3 paragraphs. This is like a book, actually. Olakunle from Apa says, the bill is a welcome one. We cannot train the doctors here and they jet out for a better payout there. Nigerians should be more patriotic. They are not poor. That is why they can afford to travel out of the country. A few weeks back, a particular footballer from South Korea left his professional career to go for the mandatory 1-year service in the military before he returned back to Premiership. This is patriotism, not the flagrant betrayal of Nigeria by professionals trained in this country. Let's stop there. It's a long read, that the individual sends. Thank you, though, for sending that. Let's take another message from WhatsApp. After this one, we'll see if the phone lines are back to normal. Comrade Daniel from Moe says NLC to kick against fuel subsidy removal. Labour has been part of the problem. Even the planned commercialization of our comatose refineries. If government don't remove the subsidy now, it's just postponing the evil days. The World Bank loan for palliative should be us for state government. I don't understand that part. But thank you. Let's stop there, Daniel. Thank you. You lost me at some point there. Okay. Let's get back to telephone and see if they're back to normal. Good morning to you.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Okay. Good morning. My reaction is on this 5 years practice for doctors before they leave the shores of Nigeria.
Okay.
If a better infrastructure has been put in place for the doctors, I don't think they will be leaving the country. And they also make a law that they themselves will not leave the country for any treatment abroad as long as doctors are here.
Okay.
So they'll also be here, do their treatment here, because we cannot put them in office and they'll take our money outside the country to treat themselves. So it will be a win-win situation for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you too for calling. Appreciate it. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, I'm responding to also the bill.
Okay.
Proposed 5 year stay. Now, it's funny because you did not supplement their school fees. They paid for it all through 100%, some of them very expensively. And then you are now telling them to stay. There's no basis at all. So, you can't even start from there at all.
Okay.
They start with, even if you mentioned the school fees, then we know you owe them something. Then they can even consider.
Okay.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just like on the night.
Let's talk.
See, I'm just laughing. I'm talking. I want to talk about the bill. Were they the one that sent me to school to study what I studied? Now it's time for me to travel. You are not telling me I have to spend 5 years in Nigeria before I can travel. For what? What if I decide I don't want to practice at all for the 5 years? Are you going to force me? Because I don't understand. And they quickly passed the bill. They can't pass any meaningful bill to help citizens. But now they are passing this bill. Have they done anything for hospitals? Have they stopped themselves from traveling out? No, they won't pass those type of bills. But to stress those that studied medicine, they quickly pass it. Anyway, I didn't study medicine. I did a lot of court cases, Marshall.
Thank you so much for your thought. And I'm hoping that somebody from that space can calling and shed light on their trainings and the role that the government is playing on their trainings. Because according to the sponsor of the bill, it won't be fair for the government to be part of their trainings, to sponsor part of their trainings, and then once they are done, they jet out of the country. I'm hoping an healthcare practitioner can shed more light on that, so that quite a number of callers will not be speaking out of ignorance, or maybe they're on point. Who knows? Until we hear from an insider, then we can confirm whether yes, government is paying part of their bills or government is not doing anything at all. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me head back to telephone. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hello. How was your night?
It was okay. Thank you.
This Joy.
Joy, welcome.
Enemy of progress, so everywhere. What is it now? How will you pass that kind of bill? It's not fair. Look at people that are using our tax money to do whatsoever they want. They want to prevent these children not to go out again. It's not fair. Thank you.
Thank you too. And to be very honest with you, I do also know that even the UK government, I don't know whether they've actually done it finally, but I heard that they have put Nigeria on the red list, which means that recruiters, healthcare recruiters in the UK, cannot recruit from Nigeria anymore. Please again confirm if that is true or not. That's what I read somewhere. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Sheriff.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
I'm doing
Alex.
okay. Welcome, Alex.
Yeah, you see, I would like the government to take a very pragmatic approach to this situation. We know what the challenges are in our system. If the government is saying, oh, I've trained you for little or nothing, and this is what you want to do, I'm going to prevent you, it's not going to work. I think we should come to a point where we will agree that there is something really good about the kind of brains that Nigeria has, and then let us make them the product for the rest of the world. Kill the school fees completely. Every medical trainee must be trained free in this country. That way, that is, put them on full-scale scholarship. So that at the end of the line, it's like you're sitting at the negotiation table. At the end of the line, that person knows that for my free training, all of 7 years or thereabout, I'm going to give my country 3 years. Then from there, you can begin to build on their infrastructure, equipment and all. It's like we are in a battle, we are in a fight together. We are patriots, co-patriots, or compatriots in a fight together, okay, to win some sections of the world. Right. So our deliberate effort should be that we are training them for the purpose of export. That's why I say we should be pragmatic. Remove the school fees completely. Then we know that, okay, this is what we are partners in business, sort of. Instead of trying to take this punitive approach, it doesn't make sense.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you. Well said. Nigeria, Info, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Jonathan is my name.
Let's talk.
So now, this headline that we're talking about, the House of Rep, I don't know, is it all of them that are proposing that bill, or there is a certain member that proposed that bill? I like to understand. They want to gag doctors from going abroad. And you know the funniest thing?
What was that?
It's not only doctors that are going abroad now. So they will now enact another law for engineers, they enact another law for accountants, they enact another law for psychologists. That shows that these people don't even know what they are even doing at all. So they thought it will end with only doctor. Honestly, we don't have leaders in this country. I want to know I'd like to know who proposed that bill. Because I know all of them cannot. Yes, Sheriff. Please help us narrow it down to the person that proposed that bill. Let's address that person directly. Good morning, Sheriff.
You two have a good one. Nigeria Info, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
It is often said that it's he who wears shoes that knows where.
Sorry, what's he said like? Repeat that. We didn't get it.
I said it is often said that it is he who wears the shoes that knows where he pinches.
Okay.
If you have ever spoken to a medical doctor,
you
know the pain they go through. In fact, I remember when I was in school, we laugh at them saying 7 plus XXXXX years. That's their slogan. Now, you are passing a bill that says they can't leave the country unless they have spent 5 years working. Do you know that when these doctors even go abroad, some of them can't practice because they don't have the relevant training? How many doctors have we heard that left Nigeria, went to the UK and immediately started practicing as a doctor? 8 million to write exams. So you cannot even go and read where you didn't see. How many Nigerian doctors have stand alongside foreign doctors? Now you want to hold them down. You don't want them to improve themselves. At the end of the day, if you are so competent in the doctors you have trained, why do we have government officials always going abroad for the slightest? It's not good for a headache. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. It will work.
Thank you.
Worst case scenario, we all find money and send our children abroad to go and study.
You.
Or are they going to stop us too and say, oh, once your child finishes WAEC, he must go to university in Nigeria? The lawmakers should look for something else to do. Thank you.
Thank you too for calling. Nigeria Info, good morning to you. That call has dropped. So let's take this one. Then we go to our live stream. Good morning to you. Good morning. Shall we move on? Okay, let's move on. We can't hear anything. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning.
My name is Chika.
Welcome.
Well, let me also lend my voice to this bill by House of Reps.
Okay.
Sheriff, let me tell you one sad story.
Tell me.
I know of a medical doctor. Do you know the reason why he stopped practicing in Nigeria? He complained that because it's actually Department of A&E, that's absent an emergency. He said that on a weekly basis, they lose average of about 10 to 12 people as a result of no space. And he said that they got a point that he can't stand it again, and he just have to resign. This doctor is actually practicing in the Department of Accident and Emergency in the Teaching Hospital in Enewu. So in that kind of scenario, the person seeing such a trauma on a weekly basis, how do you still want to compare him to continue practicing? And this thing happens unabated in all our general hospitals. During COVID,
Thank you, Chika.
The husband was ill. Same thing happened in Lutz.
Thank you, Chika. Thanks for calling me. Appreciate it. I mean, see, we have too much people on the line that we have to stick to that 60 seconds rule, okay? Let's go to YouTube. Let's take this one here from Mayowa Adebayo, who says, don't infringe on people's freedom. Tidy up your end, and healthcare workers will stay put. Jerry Freeman on YouTube says, I think this you use the word back loan to repair. I don't understand. I'm sorry, Jerry. I couldn't make out anything from what you sent. Chidi Nadi says, are there kids in Nigeria? Are there kids in Nigeria? Sorry, trying to say, Abby. Their kids school and work abroad. Why not ask their kids to come and spend 5 years here before going back to their life of luxury paid for by Nigerians? That's Chidi Nadi on YouTube. Ola says, if our leaders can get examples for not leaving, can set examples for not leaving the country for medical treatment and also take care of our doctors, I don't see any reason they will want to leave. Onimisi said, it's true, Nigeria is on the red list, but some recruiters still recruit, but the numbers are very small compared to how it used to be. Thank you for the confirmation. Power Jim says, I'm disappointed that the federal government, instead of looking for ways to remedy the comatose education, they are bringing laws that is injurious. Thank you. Let's take one more, then we'll head back to telephone. Adeyemi Johnson says, why are leaders black in thought and deeds? If they have done well to this set of people, would there be need for this kind of bill? Our leaders are reactive in approach than proactive. Okay, well, we got the point, Adeyemi. Thank you for sharing. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Sherry. First time caller.
Oh, good to have you. Good to have you.
Uncle Jay is not around.
Yes, he's on leave.
Oh, so nice.
Right.
So somebody has already even sent a message. My thought.
Okay.
So if a policy to stop medical doctors from going abroad. Sorry, my name is Fumi from Ojodu. Let me introduce myself.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome.
So they should also stop going abroad for treatment. So maybe they should also set up maybe a committee that anybody that wants to go into government, that wants to rule us, should also be taking treatment here in Nigeria. And they should also, even schools, their children should stop schooling abroad. They should also school here in Nigeria. I think that will make our medical, world to be okay. That's my own thought because it's crazy, How can they be doing that? Why they themselves, whenever they are sick, they go abroad for treatment?
Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Appreciate it. Now let's go to Facebook. After Facebook, I will take The Nation and Vanguard. Okay. Jesse Jiga on Facebook says, is sending this one in from Ijesha. In response to the caller who asked who brought the bill, the lawmaker and all of that, and he mentioned the name Ganiyu Johnson from former Alimosho local government chairman who did nothing while he was chairman. And he wrote some other things there that I can't read. Jesse Jigat, thank you for sharing. Comrade Dons says, please, what about those that went to private universities spending millions to train their children? So you will tell them to remain in this country? I'm sorry, I can't. That's Comrade Dons who sent that in on Facebook. We're going to take one more from Facebook. And this person is also saying Ganiyu Johnson's proposal on 5 years practice is right, but it should be limited to only medical graduates of federal-owned universities because of the tuition-free policy obtainable in those universities. University graduates from private ones should be exempted. Similarly, public office holders should also be banned completely from getting out of the country for medical tourism. And world-class equipment and facilities should be provided because lack of healthcare facilities is part of the reason. It's part of the reasons for these mass exits. That's Yini. Let's put it that way. Let's just stop at Yini. Yini, thank you for sharing your thought. Let's go to the Nation newspaper. After the Nation, we'll take the Vanguard and then WhatsApp. Okay. Here we go with this story here that says mischief makers plotting interim government, says DHQ. Stories on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. No easy electoral victory again, Buhari tells politicians. No easy electoral victory again, Buhari tells politicians. That story is on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Gunmen kill 3 policemen in Edo, 3 Lagos residents. That's page 6. Gunmen kill 3 policemen in Edo, 3 Lagos residents. Page 6 of the Nation newspaper. Let's go pick up the Vanguard now. Labour, NECA, NYCN reject subsidy removal palliatives. Subsidy removal palliatives. That story is on page 5. Well, it's got riders. We are no party to palliative talks by FG. We insist on local refining. That's NLC. TUC rejects $800 million palliatives, says FG on its own. NECA faults $800 million palliatives, insists on fixing local refineries. Northern youth threaten mass action, say palliatives will be looted by government officials. Those are the riders to that main story. We're going to take one more story from the Vanguard newspaper, then we go to WhatsApp. Page 9 is where we're taking the one more story from. Flight cancellations loom as fan denies oil marketers access to airports. Flight cancellations loom as fan denies oil marketers access to airports. That's on page 9. I think we should take a look at the story. Yeah? Do you want to take a look? Let's take a look at it now. Let's take a look at it. So this is the story here. The story reads, air travelers across the country will have to seek alternative means of transportation as the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN is currently denying petroleum marketers access to airports over incremental tariffs. According to Vanguard, they gathered that the access restrictions started yesterday at the Abuja airport and plans are underway to extend it to other airports managed by FAN. Nigeria has 32 airports, 26 of which are operated by FAN, 5 of which are international airports. Currently, the ramp or parking pad in Abuja airport is now congested as most airlines have more than 2 aircrafts on ground. Oh, wow. Findings show that the airport authority is currently restricting access to all fuel marketers, reason being that it had instituted a 100% increment in apron pass charges, which the marketers are required to pay urgently. Massive flight cancellations loom as FAN denies oil marketers access to airports. The story is on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. 7:54. I'm going to drop that. Let's go to WhatsApp. Go take a few more messages this morning. Let's start here. Amolara Daniel from Aja says he's asking after Uncle Jimidisu. Well, JD will be back very soon before you know it. Okay. Let's take another one quickly. Benjamin is in Ikoyi, and Benjamin says, why lawmakers can't make laws that would affect them, etc., for any of them not to travel abroad for medical treatment. Sheriff, what of the money allocated to all refineries for turnaround maintenance? What have they maintained? This country cannot move forward unless for those that hold Nigerians to ransom are being held responsible or jailed. That's Benjamin who dropped that. Sheyi is here as well. Sheyi from Ikorodu. And Sheyi said, it annoys me sometimes when you talk as if you don't know the system of Nigerian leaders. You're defending the $800 million as if it will be well spent judiciously. Ask yourself, what happened to the school feeding program and the conditional cash transfer? And what have you, who is talking, what have you? Okay, you didn't complete that one. Try and complete that one and send. He said, who is taking the account? Amumu don't do. Who is taking the account? That also does not make any much sense. You can complete that one and resend. Let's take another one here from Shegun. Shegun says, he's greeting everybody. Happy holiday. And he says, I'm still waiting for the day federal government will be honest and truthful. 12 billion naira on fire trucks. Now, wow. Wala. Okay. All right. He's excited. Adegoke says, the government is quick to pass a bill against the doctors, but okay, so it's not the government. I'm guessing that when you say the government, you're talking about the executive. So this is the National Assembly now. Okay. But you're saying that they can't pass against the government officials and senators. You see, yeah, I was right. Okay, thank you though for sharing your thought. Okay, yeah. Let me go back to the telephone. Let's take one or two calls. Good morning to you. I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. If you're saying something, I can't hear a thing. Yeah? Good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I wish to speak on this doctor's bill.
60 seconds. Go on.
My wife is a doctor, yeah.
Okay.
And then it's quite sad how the lawmakers make bills that are very frivolous, very annoying. I think somewhere within the week we met someone who said something. How a professor who is a doctor, right, resigned from being from practicing. Do you know why?
Why?
She said she could not.
Hello?
I mean, she literally saw people dying in government hospitals. Do you know the reason? Because of little things like oxygen and the rest that they couldn't provide in the hospitals. Do you understand? That's one. Go right now. I'm actually at one of the hospitals right now.
Okay.
I just dropped off.
Okay.
And if you see the dilapidating state, annoying state of these hospitals, I mean government hospitals, how terrible it is. All because of poor management. Do you understand? And see, the environment itself is kind of it's toxic. It's not. It's annoying. You go to a government hospital and then you're perceiving feces everywhere.
I know. That's what I just said.
So
like, it's not.
There's so much. There's so much things there's so much that demoralizes these doctors from working here. Now talk about the pay. You've never even talked about their pay. Do you understand?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, my friend. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. You know what? How about we continue after the news at 8? Well, it's Open Mic Friday anyway, so yeah. If you still want to say one or two things about this 5-year compulsory service thing for medical doctors, it's not a law yet. It's not a law yet. So let's continue after the break if you're still interested, because right now we need to pause here for the papers and bring you the news at the top of the hour. Stay with me in the meantime. Thank you for joining Dailies Today for today.
The numbers are out, and Nigeria Info is your number one station for talk. Number one.
And I want to assume that you would run because I want to give the listeners context for the conversation.
In 2019, you were running mate to Atiku Abubakar. What did you learn then that you will not repeat this time?
Yes, when is the president coming out to address us?
There's a few things. One, I have a burden and a passion for young people.
The fact that you have elected a man does not mean then you begin to order him around. The president will do whatever is good for the country at any given time.
Mr. Adeshino, isn't the president responsible to the people?
What should the next president do to root out stakeholders who are complicit?
You fire those that need to be fired are fired. It's it's looking like a brand new Chelsea, attacking with so much fluidity. And what can you say about that, Martin? I know you follow Chelsea quite closely.
I live close to the Chelsea training ground. That's what you mean by that. I'm not a